It's fun. What's up, Buckeye Nation? You're tuned in to the Buckeye Cast, coming at you loud and proud, bringing strong opinions and salty humor to Ohio State football. These fellas were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and their brand of banter is guaranteed to entertain and excite you. But if you're not a Buckeye, don't bother. Visit us at thebuckeyecast.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at The Buckeye Cast to stay up to date on all things Ohio State football. And be sure to subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, or Stitcher. Now here's your host, Joe Warwick.
What's up, Buckeye Nation? Here we are. I put down the knife and the gun, and I'm actually still alive. We're still doing a podcast. We lost to fucking Iowa. I remember that. I didn't go back and watch the game because I saw it all once, and I didn't need to see it twice. Henry, how many times did you see the game?
A half, really.
Yeah, that's comparable to me. I saw like 60%.
Yeah, it was, bits and pieces. I was out and about for the first part and at home in the second part. And, I've got a DVR. I'm thinking, maybe I'll watch that or maybe I fucking won't. And I haven't yet.
Yeah. I went back and watched the Oklahoma game the week after, and I just couldn't go back and watch this one. I mean, I typically watch all the games at least twice, maybe three times. But this one just fucking cut me to the core, man. 55-24 to fucking Iowa, man.
Give up 55? That. Give up nickels to fucking Iowa?
Explain that shit. I don't think anybody can. It's like driving through the fucking Bermuda Triangle.
When's the last time anybody gave up 55 to Iowa?
When's the last time Iowa scored 55? Fuck, give me that.
So I'm saying, probably 2004, they scored 55 on Northern Illinois or something stupid.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just this disgraceful game, man.
I'm going to stick by my label coming out of the Penn State game, if you remember this. Undisciplined and sloppy. Again, reared their ugly heads.
I was so pumped after the Penn State game. I'm like, all right, we got this. Sloppy on special teams and some handling the football stuff, but offense and defense was chugging along. I didn't think Iowa would even be a blip. I think you called it early in the season that this was like maybe one of your circled trap games. And trapped, it was a fucking bear trap, man. We got smashed. It wasn't a while. They squeaked one out at the end there.
Somebody stuck a bear trap in the middle of a fucking cornfield, man.
Yeah. They got up on us, and then we'd get it close, and then they scored 31 straight.
Yeah.
Like, okay, good night.
Yeah, again, this team is... It blows my mind to say this, that an Urban Meyer team is undisciplined and sloppy, but this team... And this is not an immature team, dude. That's my point. It makes zero sense for this team with all the juniors and seniors that have been around forever to allow this to happen like continuously. This is not the first time, okay? This is becoming a pattern. Go back to Clemson last year. Go back to Oklahoma earlier this year. We had to rally the troops, and JT played out of his gourd last week to come back against Penn State, and we still gave up 38 to Penn State. Let's not forget that. I'm focusing on the defense right now, but what the fuck, man? And we got Greg Schiano, a former NFL head coach. He's our defensive coordinator, man.
I know. I said it. One of the guys at the poker league thought I was crazy because he brought it up that it's hard to be tough on Urban Meyer. He's won a national championship. He's got an undefeated season here in his short tenure as Buckeye head coach. But with all the freaking talent, that junior year of Bosa and Zeke and those guys, and now this year with just a freaking absolutely loaded team, he's not meeting my expectations.
Yeah, and I would say this is. Remember 2015? We were supposed to go back to back and at least make the playoffs, and
yeah, we were loaded.
Right, and this is the same shit, man. A couple years later, same deal, loaded, and I hear all this bullshit. Herb speaks about maturity, leadership, all this positive stuff around the team, and I don't understand how this happens. 4 games out of the last 10.
I don't know, and we supposedly got the best kids in the country.
Yeah, well, rating wise, sure.
And we're just loaded with them.
Yep.
And we lose all these big games.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, we got NFL head coaches as D coordinators, but I don't know. Meyer's got a problem with this. I think I don't know what's going on.
You think this is a program issue, like a systemic issue that's bigger than just this one season?
I almost feel like they're a little bit soft. Like you could be tougher than the Buckeyes.
Okay.
I feel like we'll finesse you, out athlete you, but I don't know if we're got a tough mentality.
Like trenches tough, like beat you up
just
in the trenches.
Everywhere tough. Well, certainly in the trenches, but just everywhere. Linebackers, secondary, O-line,
yeah,
receivers. Just a nastiness about you. I feel like we got a bunch of great athletes, and we can run most people out of the gym, so to speak. But you get your better teams, well-coached teams, with a lot less athletes that do this to us, that do what Sparty's done to us in recent years, with not near the talent.
So the question is, looking at this season in a nutshell, the 5 weeks prior to Penn State, were those a mirage, like us just beating up on weak talent, or did we just have a major meltdown against Iowa and just strictly got out coached?
Yes.
Which?
To both.
Which one? Okay.
To both,
right.
I think. I certainly think we got out coached in the Iowa game.
Yeah.
That was blatantly obvious, I think. I mean, they had their way with us. What was the other part of that?
Well, the initial point was...
I think
the question was the last 5 weeks prior to Penn State, were those a mirage, just beating up on lesser talent, and then last week was a reality check, or was it strictly being outcoached?
I think, again, both. I think part of it was a mirage. I think we played some teams that, again, just don't have the athletes. We don't need to, even if they are playing tough, they can't out-tough us because it's such a gap in athlete that we got with most of those teams. Position by position, it's just hard for them. You got into Penn State, and I think there was a revenge factor. I think they played their asses off against Penn State,
but it took a bye week on top of that to take them to the last play of the game, almost.
Right. And again, the sloppiness, and to me, that's you shouldn't have all that.
And why are we? All right, let me break it down. I'll throw some numbers out. And my highlight is going to be at the end. Undisciplined, sloppy. When I talk about that, I mean penalties and turnovers, okay? You cannot continue to lose the turnover battle and win games. We proved that theory somewhat flimsy in 2014 when Cardale went out there and just made some dumb mistakes, but we had so much talent around him that we could cover those mistakes. This is a different team. You cannot continue to lose the turnover battle like 4 INTs and win the game. especially against a fundamentally sound team like an Iowa.
Man, I was just lobbying for JT to get the Heisman. Like 25
Sure.
touchdowns, one pick. I was telling my buddies, they were like, one pick? Holy shit. I'm like, I know. Dude is badass.
Yeah.
And 3 hours later, there he is, 4 picks.
As soon as you hand him the trophy, he fucking gives it right back.
I know. How did he shit the bed so bad?
And like Herb said, it's not JT. It's not normal. And I credit the Iowa defense. That's a good scheme. They baited him into a bunch of dumb choices, and he fell right in a trap. But
I feel like if the Penn State DBs could have turned their head a couple times, they would have had a couple picks themselves.
Yeah.
Or a couple.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I would say Iowa's D is much better. And I don't care what national rankings say statistically about Penn State. That was not a number one defense in the country. They just got fat on some chumps. Similar to our team, honestly. On the offensive side of the ball. So, quickly, some team statistics. Team yardage. We put up 370 as a total. Yeah. Usually that's one side of the ball. Or one passing or rushing. And Iowa put up 487. These are numbers we're not used to talking about. We gave up 243 rushing. 243, man. That's almost 250. Penalties.
I see it. It's 6.4 a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were beating us on that. Penalties 9 for 95. We are averaging 8 penalties a game. 7.9. Again, sloppy and undisciplined. Herb can say all he wants that, penalties of aggression are fine with him, but there's a lot of dumb fucking penalties mixed in here. 9 for 95. And those are yards you can't make up. And then the 4 picks, of course.
Well, the Bosa headbutt gave him a first down, right?
Another stupid move by a Bosa in an important game. I know that they're like legends in Columbus, but let's call it what it is. Joey Bosa had the stupid targeting penalty against Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl a couple years ago. Same thing here. That was a dumb fucking penalty in a meaningless snap. I don't know what you're trying to achieve there. You can apologize. Herb said that he apologized and said he was just trying to get in the way of the ball or whatever the fuck. There's no fucking reason, man. That's flat out dirty and stupid, and especially for a second-year guy. It's not his freshman year.
I don't even know about dirty, though, because it's not like that was ever going to hurt the kid. It was just like in your face. It wasn't that hard.
Well, then what was the point? Why do it if you're not going to have an effect? It's just
well, I think the effect is the intimidation factor and the in your face, bitch. I'll be back again.
Yeah, that's flimsy though, because there is like an O-lineman between them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was just,
right.
Kind of I'm gonna get your ass type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, stupid nonetheless. Very stupid.
And then some of my highlights here, lowlights I should call them. I'm gonna fucking burn this into a piece of wood. We were talking about burning things into a piece of wood last week, remember? I'm going to burn this into a piece of wood. J.K. got 6 fucking carries.
Who?
J.K. Dobbins.
I haven't seen him.
Yeah, you heard of him?
I haven't seen him. I've heard of him. I haven't seen him.
This is week 9, and he's on the threshold of crossing 1,000 yards, FYI. 6 carries. Did have 5 catches when I guess we decided that we have to start slinging the ball around. And Weber had 5 carries. I need an explanation as to why J.K. only gets 6 carries. I don't have his numbers, his yardage in front of me, but guess what?
I do.
He was
6 for 51, 8.5 a carry.
That'll work. Yep. how many weeks in a row have we seen this average of plus 5 or 6 yards, right? And he's gotten limited carries. I don't understand this.
And we opened him up this season with like 29, didn't we?
Oh yeah, he fucking was eating well the first 3 weeks. I mean, are we afraid of the fucking freshman wall or something? I mean, come on. And that's the thing. Herb in the middle or early season was like, no, we want to wear him out. He specifically said this. We want to wear him out and use him. But he's not playing that game. And he wants to. Herb tries to play it off on Tony Alford, the running backs coach, and say that Herb doesn't micromanage the carries. Well, maybe he fucking should. Because
right.
It didn't work in 2015 when Zeke got limited carries against Michigan State, and it's not fucking working now.
Well, again, I don't know if it's the mentality that Herb creates or what, but every time we lose, it's like, abandon the run, abandon ship so early on the run.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on?
Right.
We run it down their throats. We control everything when we're running.
Yeah. To play the other side, I do see we had success on the deep ball in the first half. You know, we have 2 deep ball touchdowns early, so I get why you want to target them, but that's not our game. We are a power running team. Spread, power, run. That's what we do. And all we did was spread and throw the last 2 weeks.
The thing is, I feel like we could have spread, power, run, and then at some point they're going to have to commit to the run, and then you hit that stuff late. But keep running the ball.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I understand. Herb made the point this week that Iowa was focused on taking J.K. out of the option game, so they were basically focused on him and forcing J.T. to keep it on the option game. So that's fine, but find other ways to get him the ball, you know, and not catches, not the 5 catches, just run flat running plays. I mean, come on. We have so many running plays in our arsenal. It doesn't have to be an option play every fucking down. You know, look at Zeke. You know, most of those touchdowns and big breakers were not on option plays. They were on fucking flat run plays, you know?
Yeah.
Between the tackles. And, you know,
yeah.
J.K. can take it. And then you got Weber to spell him. Fuck. I just, like you said, abandoning the run game so early on seems to be like a freak out mode. Like, oh, everybody shits their pants, you know? We got to throw.
Yeah, and then it's just the JT ineffective run show.
Yeah. He's not gonna get you 8 yards a carry. He's gonna get you 5, maybe. You know, he's gonna go down quickly. So yeah, and then the big thing from last week's game is the D-line and the linebackers. These guys should be on a fucking firing squad.
I wouldn't not throw the safeties in there too. Go ahead.
That's fine.
Throw them in.
Okay. Shiano took responsibility yesterday, saying that they need, as a coaching staff, to fix things faster, quote unquote. I'm not sure what he's referring to. He didn't get into great detail, and he was being kind of coy, you know, a la the CEO. I think, though, that the linebackers have regressed throughout the year. Drastically. And you could say the entire D has regressed from front to back.
Well,
we only have 21 sacks as a team.
But I regressed, I don't know, because they totally kicked ass in that Penn State game just 1 week ago. Week and a half ago.
In the second half, they did, yeah.
And then, Bosa play, and then just not great play out of that group this
Mm-hmm.
week. And especially the linebackers. I mean, how many tight ends are on Iowa's team?
Yep.
Did they all catch a touchdown?
They all got open, I guarantee you that.
Jeez.
I think Herb totally misfired with the hiring of Billy Davis, his best man from his wedding. Let's keep that in mind. He probably has a photograph of the guy on his desk. I think that's the weakest part of the defense right now, and a few weeks ago I would have said the secondary was the weakest point, and based solely on Damon Arnett and Sheffield. But linebackers, these guys are consistently out of position. Consistently,
Yeah,
man.
that's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, they've got all the athletic ability in the world, but I don't know if they're that tough, one, and smart, too, because
I see them overrunning run
Oklahoma
plays
works them.
constantly. They just overrun everything, We fucking miss Luke Fickell. I got to say it.
Oh, I agree.
Talk about the most taken for granted coach ever. Luke Fickell. Fuck. Put your hand up.
Well, I don't know. I like Luke Fickell, but the year he was coach, gosh, he was like a kid wearing man pants.
Well, I will not measure him against that. He was thrust into a situation that he was not even ready for, and obviously that was just not him. He
Still, to be awful like that?
Dude, fuck that. You cannot say 1 year out of his career makes him as a coach. You can't say that. The dude is a great defensive coordinator, great linebacker coach. He can coach D-line as well. We don't need him to do that. And now he's earning his stripes as a head coach, in the minor leagues. But
Well, to me, it was too bad. I would have loved to have seen Luke Fickell become the Ohio State head coach and be a great coach.
Yeah.
And he got thrown in there and it was like, all right, man, here you go. You got the keys to the Cadillac.
But he just wasn't ready, man.
And then, no, he wasn't.
That was like 5 years ago, I mean, I think he's grown a lot probably and probably a better coach from a macro standpoint than he ever was. He was back then. He was just a fucking linebackers coach, and was he even D coordinator at that point? I don't remember, but I mean that's a big difference going from whatever he was, linebackers / D coordinator, and just being handed the entire freaking team. And that team was a clusterfuck anyways, man. Look at how many dudes we lost due to suspensions. I mean, I don't put that on him at all. I put that more so on all the assholes that got suspended. We were without a lot of talent that we should have had.
Okay, but would we go that year?
Like fucking 7 and 8 or 6 and 7 with the bowl game.
Yuck.
Yeah, yuck. Yeah, we lost to Florida to.
And we lost to Michigan. That's like the only time we've lost to Michigan.
Yeah.
They love that win. It's like, man, that ain't even a real win.
No, I don't give them credit for that at all. And they can have, if they want, they can have Hoke's first year as equal payment. That's fine. But anyway, let's polish off this game. Same shit, different week coming up. This is going to be similar to the Iowa game, going into Sparty, or Sparty coming into us. I still think this is going to be like a mirror image game plan, especially with the success Iowa had. If you're Sparty, how do you not just copy their game plan and Xerox that shit?
Sparty is Iowa, except they're better than Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, they could give us a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
They always do.
So this is a 12 o'clock game on Fox. Injury report, really nothing new. Paris Campbell's supposed to be back. I'm not sure if that's good news or bad news. My 2 cents on him.
Well, I mean, you got to, as long as he doesn't throw 4 picks.
Yeah, he fortunately doesn't play quarterback, but he will give up 1 or 2 on the ground. And
that's right there. Who gives up more fumbles? L.J. Scott or Paris Campbell? That'll be the winner.
Oh, that's a great over-unders. Vegas needs to put a line out on that. Right? I don't know, man. That's a tough one. Well, it has to be like 2.5, and who do you take? So anyway, yeah, no great earth-shattering news having Paris back. Maybe he can return some kicks, because obviously Mikey Weber wasn't getting it done last week.
I know, what was with that?
He was getting shoestringed by the 15 to 20-yard line, man. I mean,
he doesn't look comfortable back there. He must be the only guy Herb trusts to catch the ball. He's like, all right.
Yeah.
Fucking ball.
Yeah, I would have put KJ Hill back there. So, yeah.
KJ's been playing so much, I think.
Yeah, they probably want to cut him back a bit. Maybe Paris can get us some good field position this week. That's going to be key, obviously, going against a Michigan State team. Field position is always most important. D'Antonio comes from the trestle tree of the punt's the most important play in football. So we're going to need all the yardage we can get, all those hidden yards. And that's why I think penalties are going to be huge. We're going to have to live under our average of 7.9 points per game. We have a nice advantage over them at 44 to 24, but you can throw all the fucking stats out the window this week, I think.
Oh, I'll tell you what, right now, my bunch of Sparty buddies up here, and they're like, oh, come on, we're going to watch the game, big game this week. And I'm like, so much. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And this and that. And I said, look, you have to understand, it's different. You, Sparty, can still have a magical season. You guys win the Big Ten. That's magical for Sparty this year, considering what they went through and what happened last year.
Yeah.
Ohio State goes on to win the Big Ten and then plays USC in some whatever bowl. Big deal.
Yeah.
It's underachieving. But that being said, this is going to be a huge game for Sparty, and it's really going to test the Buckeyes' mettle and what Herb can do with these guys. Can you keep them motivated? Mm-hmm. There's still a Big Ten title chance out there, but now that your ultimate goal is pretty much finished, can you keep these guys motivated?
Yep.
Because Sparty will be. Sparty will come to fight. I promise.
Yeah. And that's interesting that the focus of this week's trailer put out by the athletic department is focused on the brotherhood, playing for your brother and all that, Then at the very last shot of the video, the hype video, is the Big Ten trophy. So it's like, okay, we see what's important. It's more about playing for the guy next to you, and the Big Ten trophy is kind of an afterthought. And I agree. I mean, do you really give a fuck about a Big Ten trophy?
I mean, I guess I want to win it because you can win it, and I don't want anyone else to win it.
Right.
But,
it's a trophy.
Yeah, no, to me, the season so far has been a failure. And the only thing that will keep it from being an utter failure is if we beat Michigan. That's really it to me. He asked me, too. He's like, would you rather win the Big Ten or lose to Michigan this year? I'm like, or beat Michigan or win the Big Ten? Like, I'll beat Michigan. I would rather beat Michigan than win the Big Ten.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no doubt.
I don't even have to think twice about that one, man. Got to win that game. It's even more tasty now that Harbaugh's the coach. Because, Rich Rod and Hoke were, they're like cardboard. But this fucking guy, I want to beat this guy. He makes you want to beat him.
I'm a little, I think you are too. I think we've let it be known. little pissed off at Herb. To not be pissed off at Herb, he's going to need to finish strong against his nemesis D'Antonio and his new nemesis Harbaugh, and win some of these big games.
And fuck, this is hardly a big game, man. Coming into the season, this was not a big game. Look at all the off-season bullshit that Michigan State went through. How many guys did they
lost
kick off
like
their
half
team?
they had their best class ever like 2 years ago.
Right.
Half of them are off the team.
Right. That's what I'm saying. This should not have been a big game. We should not be in this position.
They went for 2 at the end to win last year.
Right. That's a gifted W. Same with Michigan the prior year. But anyway, let's look at Sparty's schedule quickly. We know they got 2 losses. Lost by 20 to Notre Dame early in the year. They're probably still getting their shit together, and Notre Dame obviously is no joke. These dudes got a good D and a good running game. I don't think they have everything it takes to win a championship, but they can definitely put a tough game plan together, and we'll touch on them later. But anyway, lost by 20 to Notre Dame, then came back, beat Iowa, beat Michigan, huge game. That's definitely a feather in the D'Antonio skull cap. Beat Minnesota, no big deal. Beat Indiana, then somehow, inexplicably, losing triple overtime to Northwestern. Can't understand that. Did you see the game?
Well, it was on. I was actually up at the local watering hole, and they had that game on. It was the same time as the Buckeyes Penn State game, and they had that sound on. So I was watching the Buckeyes, but hearing most of that and looking over in commercial breaks, and it was basically Northwestern played sound football, and Michigan State for once got out-toughed.
Beat them at their own game, huh?
They did, because it is trestle ball. Problem with they never blow anybody out hardly.
Right.
Every game's close, and you play good D. You win at the end.
Yeah.
And it caught up with them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna reference that right now, talking about our last 3 losses. Trestle ball never got us beat by 31.
No.
Piss on it all you want. Say how unexciting it is and how boring and conservative it is, and how the senator just keeps things close, and maybe you win at the end, maybe you lose at the end. But I got to say, we never got blown the fuck out by, 28, 31, things like that.
That's why 02 may be the best year of football ever. I mean, we were winning like at the very last second on 4 or 5 games that year. Just games that got your heart pumping.
And they were low scoring, like 17-14.
Oh, all of them. And when it came out, I think the Buckeyes opened up that year at 12-point dogs to Miami.
Right.
It's like, man, Buckeyes defense is going to keep them in this game.
Yeah, that kept us in every game. That defense was no joke. And, yeah, maybe times have changed and we're just not seeing it. That was 15 years ago, and everything is more offensively focused. Defense is not the same, man. It's weak.
Yeah.
So now that we threw the stats out the window and we checked out this Michigan State schedule, we didn't mention the Penn State game, that crazy rain and weather dragged out kind of game. What time did that game get over? Like 8 or 9 at night last weekend?
I bet that game.
Yeah, that's right. Shawn was there for the first 2 quarters.
First quarter and a half.
Jesus
and
Christ.
It was perfect. It was perfect timing. They cleared the stadium, said there was lightning in the area.
Yeah.
Got in the car, drove the hour and a half back to Birmingham, got in a bar, got some good food, and started. That Buckeyes game was just coming on.
Mm.
Well, unfortunately, I guess.
Right. So
but, yeah, we made the right call getting out of there when we did.
Did you see that W coming? Because to me, it looked like Penn State was going to own that game.
I thought they were too early, and then I swear the weather gods love Sparty. I wouldn't be surprised.
They sure do. They have
sweep it.
They have looked kindly upon the green.
And they're mutters. The green are mutters,
They
man.
are some mothers.
Their mothers were mutters.
They're
Their
mutter,
fathers
yeah.
were mutters.
He's a mutter. So yeah,
They do it.
I was shocked. I thought that actually it almost looked like it was going to overtime. I was like, oh fuck, you got to be kidding me! They're putting these players through more football, and
12-hour game day.
fuck. Can you imagine, dude? Oh man, especially if you didn't have a change of jersey.
I heard some of those guys went back in, maybe showered again.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd start my day over, man. Get a nap.
Yeah.
Hit the fucking reset button. But anyway, so yeah, interesting W. I think you take the weather out of that equation. I think Penn State wins that game. I realize that it's a home game for Sparty, but I think the weather really fucked that game up. I mean,
the flow of it, all that, on
momentum.
The road. You're in your home locker room. They're in your shit visitor locker room.
Right. And you drag them out for 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah. That's got to suck.
Right. So, anyway, you can only talk about the wins and the losses. And so, that's a W for Sparty. And knocks Penn State down a bit. So let's get into our microscopes and our predictions. We got some heavy stuff coming up here with our Twitter questions and our playoff talk. So let's skate through this quickly.
All right.
Break it down for me, Henry. Who do you have on offense?
On offense, I've got my boy J.K. Dobbins.
You stole it from me, you cocksucker.
Sorry, man. Well, I didn't see him last week, so I was hoping to see him this week.
Yeah, he's on a fucking milk carton.
Well, last week I had JT on my microscope, so I saw enough of that shit. 4 picks. I didn't even need a microscope for that.
Right.
Those were pretty plain as day. So no, I got to switch it to Dobbins because they got to give him the ball. It's been said.
Yeah.
No one understands it. And this is going to be a tough game. It's going to challenge the players. It's going to challenge the coaches. And if they don't use J.K. right, I don't think we'll win. So that's my guy on offense. On D, I'm going to steal the other one you're probably looking at. Is my old boy, Jerome Baker.
Yep.
Where are you at, Jerome Baker? It's embarrassing.
He does not play well unless he's chasing something from behind. If you run a play at him, he's fucked. That's been proven, especially last week.
Again, it goes back to my soft thing. Fill a gap. Smash a hole, man.
That's my motto in life. Yeah.
It isn't a bad one. So I'm just looking at, all 3 linebackers really need to be looked at, frankly. But, Jerome Baker came into this year as being like, wow, this is the next
first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At linebacker,
all the
which
talk.
I think are typically dime a dozen, but he showed a lot of potential, and he's regressed.
Yeah, all the NFL scouts, that have a website and a TV show, he is first-round draft pick, man. He was like fucking the next Ryan Shazier.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to jump all over your suggestions, and I'm going with units. I'm not focused on single players. I'm going on fucking positions.
What'd you say about my unit?
I'm focused on your unit. Although I haven't seen it in a long time. It might be a little shriveled and wrinkled. I'm going O-line on offense because I want to see some domination in the trenches. Specifically the O-line, moving the line of scrimmage and making room for your boy J.K. that you took this week. O-line, moving the ball, making holes. And then on D, I'm going after another unit that has been incognito this year, and I've been banging on them since fucking week 2, the linebacking core. Can't tell you who's on this team. I don't know our linebackers' names because they never make a fucking tackle. I see guys like chasing plays to the sideline and then
chasing Chasing tight ends, catching touchdowns?
Oh yeah, they're definitely in the rear view on a lot of touchdown plays, or they're getting a penalty for tackling a guy that's going out on a pass route. So O-line and linebackers, this is your week to shine. Everybody else should be status quo. I don't expect anything outstanding from the other position groups, but these are the people that I want to not fuck up. I guess should be my focus. It's not my microscope. It's my focus on not fucking up.
The O-line should have no excuse for that because, like, I think that both starting defensive ends for Michigan State are walk-ons.
Okay.
You know, how do our 4 and 5s across that whole line not be able to push some of these guys around?
Oh, we've seen our 4 and 5 stars on the O-line not show up and not even crack the 2 deep. So, and don't forget last week, the Iowa offensive line had 2 freshmen that soundly took care of our D-line. Boom.
True that.
So we've seen the spread drop down about a point, full point and a half, depending on where you like to take your money. Buckeyes now are 14 and a half. What?
Oh, it did drop, huh?
Yeah, it started off at 16 in some places, 16 and a half. I saw it at 15 and a half, and now it's 14 and a half. So everybody's taking that Sparty money, you know. And then the over-under is 55. So don't forget, this is in Columbus. What do you think? You think we come even close to covering that 14 and a half?
If you had a gun to my head, I'm putting on Sparty.
Yeah.
That's just it's a lot of points.
But what is Vegas thinking? Vegas must fucking know something to throw that big number out there. Is it
It's
an herb
it
thing?
seems out of the ordinary. I would think that spread would be 6.5, 7.
Yeah, I couldn't see it being more than a touchdown, even though it's in Columbus, and even though we're coming off like an embarrassing loss. I mean, typically, NFL team rules, an NFL team, they come off an embarrassing loss like that, and they bounce back and cover. That's kind of the general rule. I don't know what the percentages are. So, I don't know if you can say Ohio State's in that same realm of possibility, but
Maybe, but
that's what I'm guessing Vegas is guessing or thinking, you know.
I have no idea what they're thinking, but to me, I usually follow the money. The money's usually right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like it is in this case, especially if the college playoff committee, they have Sparty ranked higher than us.
Right.
So if they're trying to whittle down the top 4 teams, and a team you've got a spot or 2 ahead of us, we're 3-score favorites on? How arbitrary is this thing?
Well, a lot of it's recency bias too. You know, I mean,
but no,
Sparty just won.
I thought
We
the
just
starters
lost.
to get the best 4 teams, and if they think that, you know what, Michigan State's a better team, then I could see, okay, Ohio State's maybe favored a little bit because it's close. We're favored by 3 scores.
Right.
I
think a lot of it's recency bias. Honestly, I mean, they won, we lost, and they feel compelled to put Sparty up there. A lot of it, again, I talked about this last week, is they're creating a TV show. You know, this is something where they want to get eyeballs. So you drop Ohio State, and you hear the fans, you know, uproar and get pissed off about it.
Huh?
Just part of it, but I think us losing the way we did by 31 to Iowa, a team that Penn State beat, even though it was on the last play of the game, they still beat Iowa in Iowa, and then Michigan State just beat Penn State. So what's your final score?
I'm going for the Buckeyes not to cover, 27-38.
Wait, what?
38-27.
Buckeyes, okay.
Buckeyes.
Nice. Get the over-under, so I should take the over. I haven't checked the weather, so let's assume that's a good day. I am going to side with Vegas on this one.
Whoa!
I think something's up. you know me, I like to take the Buckeyes to cover always. Did get me last time, bit me right in the nuts, but I'm going to go Buckeyes by 17. So I'm going to go like a low-scoring affair, 31-14, 14, I guess. I was thinking, I don't know how Sparty gets in the end zone twice, but that's easily possible. So 31-14, Buckeyes. Fucking fingers crossed, fingers and toes crossed. Don't feel good about it, obviously. You can tell. So
I'm on the ESPN site, and they have us as a 92% to win. Right. I disagree. I disagree by about 30%.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too. But
I think it's probably about 60-40 Buckeyes.
Yeah. A lot of factors go into that game that you can't quantify in numbers.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into our Twitter questions here. We got our homeboy, the Buckeye, Jason, at Jason33887. He has two questions. First one is, since 2014, are Ohio State teams getting better or worse as the season goes on? Let's answer that first, and I'll do the second part of his question. So since 2014, better or worse as the season progresses?
Well, 2014, they obviously progressed well. 2015, they did not. Last year, they did not. This year, they are not. So,
yeah.
I guess
Pretty
you're onto
simple.
something, Jason.
Yeah.
I guess you're onto something. They're not.
We thought they were
At
this
least
year.
they're not hitting stride late in the season like you need to.
Yeah, we thought they were getting better and improving. I mean, the offense was the obvious issue this season. And we thought that it was better getting fixed. And wrong. So that's a getting worse would be the answer to that first question. Second question.
The ball don't lie, man.
Exactly. Second part of this question was, what unit pissed you off the most Saturday? Can we only pick one?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's easy. It's the linebackers that got owned all day.
I'm going to go JT.
Well, yeah, it's easy to go there, too.
I mean, that's the glaring from start to finish.
What unit is that? Quarterbacks? Or is he in with the backs? That's the group.
Yeah.
One guy played it the whole time.
But I don't know. If you're going to put it on the players, yeah. I would actually like to put it on the guys that get paid and the coaching staff. I think they got outworked.
Oh, man.
And I can't put that on the players.
You almost can't, because
especially on the defensive side of the ball. Shiano admitted it. He took the blame.
Well, again, I just think there might be a softness that needs changed. We need some badass to come in there and change that culture.
Shiano's not a softie, though. I don't know, man. I think linebacking coach Billy Davis, I think that's a huge miss, like we mentioned earlier. Herb hiring his buddies is not the fucking solution.
I know, right?
I got a big problem with that.
Hey, here's a $500,000 gig for Nancy and the kids,
He's never been a college football coach. He's never had to teach fundamentals. He's never had to...
what was he?
NFL linebacker coach. That was it. Never a D coordinator, never a head coach, nothing. Always.
But he was an NFL linebackers coach?
Yeah, for like 25 years.
Well, shit, he should be good then, right?
I don't know. Should he? I don't know what the difference between a college and an NFL linebacker coach is. I would say that Luke Fickell is a great example of a college linebacker coach. I would say Bill Davis, not so much.
Well, as far as we've seen, it'd be tough to argue otherwise.
So, yeah. Let's get into our next question here, now that we've rubbed more salt in the wound. This is coming from our new guy on the scene. You might remember him from last week, Zachary Pop. bringing the pop at Pop ZJ4478. This guy might be a bot for all I know. But he's submitting questions, so we're going to ask him. As good as JT has been, do you feel like the offense will run better when it is not so JT dependent next year? So this is a looking into the crystal ball kind of question. How do you see this working, Henry? I mean, you could take this a million different directions because you don't even know who the starting quarterback's going to be.
Well, I say yes, it will be more efficient than it is. And I'm actually... I'm at a real big quandary right now. I guess we got to still play for the Big Ten championship, and JT's our best chance to win. But, if we get up early on Illinois, I want to see a lot of Haskins and Burrow and start planning on that for next year and how these guys are going to do. Get him some meaningful minutes. If you can do that for both those guys this year yet, it's going to be tough now that you got Michigan State, which is going to be a tough game. Illinois, they both should get time, I would think. And Michigan, you got to go with JT because he's probably our best chance to win that game. And then if you're lucky enough to make it, you got to stick with JT. So I guess there's not a ton of time left to get those guys any PT. Maybe Illinois, but live by JT, die by JT.
So you're saying the offense will run better next year because the 5-year starter or the 4-year starter, 5th-year senior is no longer at the helm.
Yeah. Do I think it'll even break the records that some of JT's offensive has? No. But I think it'll be more consistent, more efficient against better teams. We're good at running it up on the not great teams. But against the tougher teams, we struggle, and I think that the new offense, it might not put up these 60-point games, but when you're in a tough game, it's still going to put up 30.
I think the offense will not run as smoothly next year because we're going to be breaking in a first-year starter, whether it's Burrow or Haskins. Doesn't matter. Even Tate Martell, whatever. I think it's going to be really slow going to get into a groove offensively. Look at how much trouble it was this year with JT. And that's running Herb's offense the way he wants it. So, we'll have Dobbins back next year and Mikey Weber and most of the offensive line except for Jamarco and Billy Price. But I'm not sure it's going to run better. I'm going to have to see that to believe it.
Again, I don't think you're going to see the crazy numbers, but I think it's going to be more efficient. We anytime we're in a big game, the offense shuts down. The play calling goes vanilla, and it's like they all shit their pants. They don't know what to do.
You think it would be chocolate. Let's get into our college football playoff talk here. I was just reading something interesting.
Playoffs?
Yeah. We're doing interviews tonight over at the Woody, and Herb said that Trayvon Grimes, we all remember last time we talked about him, he was back in Florida dealing with a family health issue, and he is actually still enrolled and finishing his classes online. So, interesting to see if he returns back to campus after the winter quarter or winter semester. So, thought that was interesting to note.
What's the... just someone sick or close death in the family?
He won't get into it. Herb's kept it pretty much close to the vest and hasn't divulged exactly who or how serious it is. But I would have to assume for Trayvon to go back home in the middle of the season where he's already played and burned his red shirt had to be pretty dire,
Right.
So at least he's still enrolled and is finishing his classes online. And who knows? It'd be nice to see him back in a Buckeye workout uniform in January, February, and maybe spring game. But
be nice to see. I hope everything's all right with his family.
Yeah, it's almost like gaining another recruit, you know, going into the 2018 season. So let's talk college football playoff rankings quickly. We have some key games coming up, and every week now is Elimination Saturday. You know, people are going to get knocked off. This is the nature of the beast, and especially as we get into rivalry season, you know, as the season winds down. Buckeyes are at number 13 this week.
Hey.
Yeah, that's a kick in the nuts. But a lot of people above them have some interesting games coming up. Let me throw about 8 games at you here that are going to matter. Washington going to Stanford Friday. They are favored by 6. And Washington's currently at position number 9.
Stanford's what, like 20?
Yeah, they're behind us. They're not even ranked. But Stanford is no joke. I would probably take them with that 6-point spread. That's going to be a ball game. They play good D and run the ball hard. And if Bryce Love is 100%, then look the fuck out. UW, I think, is overrated. I think they're kind of the Penn State of the Pac-12. So, moving on.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Big ones that are closer to the top. Georgia at Auburn. This is a big one. Georgia's favored by 2.5 going on the road. Both teams are ahead of us, obviously, even though Auburn is a 2-loss team. Keep that in mind. 3 spots ahead of us, but still a 2-loss team.
Auburn?
Yes, sir. So
the problem with that is, yeah, Auburn's going to drop. Georgia's going to best them.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, I don't see that.
It's only a 2-point. It's only 2-point spread in that.
Right, but it's at Auburn, so you know, throwing the.
I haven't been watching much of Auburn. Are they that good?
No, they're not.
Georgia looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I would think Georgia by 6.
Yeah, I think they're giving a little too much leeway to Auburn on the road, or Auburn at home and Georgia on the road. Yeah, Auburn's lost to Clemson and LSU. They've beaten virtual nobodies. I mean, you know the typical SEC schedule. They play Georgia Southern. They play Mercer. You know, I mean,
poor Georgia Southern, man. Those guys get kicked around.
Yeah, they get used and abused like a $5 whore, man.
They love it. $1 million bucks.
Cashing those fucking checks. This one to me is intriguing. This is Florida State at Clemson. Now, this would have been a big deal coming into the year before Francois got hurt for Florida State, but I still think this is a ball game. I think the Fighting Jimbos can put together a game plan and maybe not win the game, but they can put a deep scare into the Clemson. Got a little loose there. I just have a lot of hatred towards Clemson, obviously. I think Florida State, they're running the ball really well with Cam Akers. Dude had like 200 yards last week. I know they're on their second-string quarterback, but their defense is solid. I think this can be a ball game. I definitely don't buy that 17-point spread.
What, you off your meds, man?
Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I don't even think Clemson's that good. I think Florida State's awful. What are they, like 3-4?
Yeah.
Something. I don't know. I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're good enough. And if you can shut down that Cam Akers, that's ball game.
Okay.
And Clemson's D, I think, can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see Florida State knock them off. That would be poetic. That's wishful thinking. What's the line on that?
17.
Yeah.
And it's at Clemson.
Love to see it. Never happen.
That's why they play the games.
Well, you know what? Iowa could never beat Iowa State.
Right. Look at this spread here. Speaking of the devil, Iowa at Whiskey. Whiskey, 12.5-point favorite.
I like whiskey. I don't know about covering, but I like whiskey.
Yep. Wisconsin's currently at number 8 in the polls, undefeated. Keep that in mind. Their schedule's been pretty weak, so probably well-deserved number 8 for an undefeated shit schedule. I think Iowa definitely does not live up to last week's hype, and probably come in a little flat against the Badgers.
Yeah, the Badgers aren't going to give up the run. That's why. Badgers are going to keep running it.
And they're going to run over you, yeah. Yep. This one is key because it's an SEC game, and Mississippi State's been doing well this year. They're quietly doing things at 7-2. They got Bama at home. Bama's favored by 14, of course. So not a huge spread. But Mississippi State and Dan Mullen can put together a game plan and make this a ball game, I think.
I don't know much about that Mississippi State, but I hope what you're saying is true.
At least it's home. That's about all I can say.
But, I mean, what does that do for us? Bama would need to lose that one and another one and probably another one.
The conference championship.
For us to jump them.
Hey, I'll take Bama, put them on a neutral field against a good team any day, and I'll watch that game. For real. That's a ball game. Because Bama doesn't play well against good teams on neutral fields. So, unless they knock out Florida State's quarterback in week 1.
Except for the last time they did that, they crushed the team.
Oh yeah, that's a wild card. You can't count on that happening every week. Maybe not a outright W for Mississippi State, but maybe a good ball game. Maybe. Let me dig through the last couple here. This is the classic. Everybody has to love this game. This is something I will definitely watch Saturday night. Catholics versus convicts. Notre Dame at Miami. The Irish coming in at 3-point favorites. Road favorites.
I like it. I think that, I would lay on Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is playing pretty well at Wimbush, whatever. Mm-hmm. Miami's lucky to be where they're at. Miami's won like 3 games they probably shouldn't have. And Notre Dame lost 1 against Georgia, who might be the best team in the country. So I think the Catholics got the convicts on this one.
That'll put a dent in the old convicts' national championship hopes. They're currently
to me that's a good setup though, because if that happens, then the convicts can maybe beat Clemson, and I think that's how that needs to play out.
Yeah, well, it doesn't.
Or
matter.
I guess
it doesn't matter if they win or lose.
Actually, you probably got to beat Notre Dame. Someone's going to have to beat Notre Dame, and it's either going to be Miami or Stanford, I'm guessing.
Yep.
So yeah, I probably want Miami to win that and then lose to Clemson or
beat
someone
Clemson.
else. Well, then they'll be undefeated and be in. Either way, a lot of math has to come together. A lot of math.
Clemson's 8-1, so knocking them out would be key. A 2-loss Clemson team, especially if they get knocked out of their own conference championship game, that would be key.
That would be critical. But if they lose the conference championship and Buckeyes finish strong and win, again, a lot needs to happen up there. Is Oklahoma going to lose?
Right, that's the next game I was going to tee up is TCU's at Oklahoma. OU is a 6.5-point favorite. Again, both these teams are well ahead of us in the standings, so you have to assume whoever loses that game is going to fall behind us.
Yeah, you'd assume, but...
And then they have their made-up conference championship game, which basically...
because the top 2?
Yeah, they don't have divisions, so it's the top 2. That could end up being...
these 2 again.
or Oklahoma State gets into the mix. I don't know what their head-to-head is like. I know that last week, obviously, OU beat Oklahoma State. So OU would probably get in first if they were all at 2 losses. Or both at 2 losses. Then TCU would play OU again.
Are the Cyclones still rocking?
They're down there at 21. They're 6-3. If they got somebody good coming up, I would not write them off. Yeah, they got Oklahoma State this week. So anyway, those are the big games coming up this week. And again, shit's gonna go crazy after this weekend, assuming that there's a few upsets, which there always is.
Well, I burnt all my emotional stock this past week. So I'm not expecting much more out of this year. Beat Michigan, but so if we look like shit or lose this weekend, it's not going to kill me.
Okay, so
I'm almost expecting it, even though I'm not betting that way.
Disconnected from the season at this point, huh?
Well, I guess this game could turn it around.
Okay,
what
could do it for you?
Then you got Illinois, which you know you're going to beat.
Right.
Well, then you're going to win the Big Ten championship, or at least play for it. I don't know if we beat Wisconsin.
Let's get into it first, yeah.
But, hopefully we get in there and beat Wisconsin because we'll be doing them a favor. Because if Wisconsin has to go in and play Alabama, they'll get their asses kicked.
Oh, yeah. They would have no business being in a Final Four.
Exactly. So I just want to go to the championship to keep from Wisconsin embarrassing themselves.
Let me paint this picture quickly. I don't want to go too much longer because we've been grinding it out here for an hour and a half. This is just strictly between me and you. Nobody else is listening. A 2-loss Big Ten champion. Don't put a team or a color on the team. Do they make the Final Four?
No.
No? A 2-loss Big Ten champ?
No.
Okay.
I don't. I was worried before last week's game that we could go and win it all and still not get in because we weren't going to jump anyone. We weren't going to jump if they all went out. Now, obviously, Bama and Georgia can't win out. Yeah. But even with that one loss, they could stay ahead of us. Mm-hmm. But you got Clemson, looks like they could win out.
Yeah.
Notre Dame looks like they could win out.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma looks like they could win out. I thought last week, being a 1-loss team, it was going to be close to getting in. I thought we'd probably get in because somebody's going to lose, I think. But a 2-loss, not a good chance.
Okay.
What about you? You think there is?
Well, I remember 2007. Remember that season? And how everything just fell into place. And a 2-loss LSU team got into the BCS championship game against us. Did we have 1 or 2 losses that year? I forget. Anyway,
we backdoored into that one too.
We did, yeah. We all did. It was a backdoor bride for everybody. So I am not going to write off the possibility of making it into the Final Four. I will say this, on a side note, could be one of those years that people in higher places point to for an 8-team playoff.
Well,
it
goes without saying in my mind. It's just painfully obvious that it should be 8.
But this could be one of those years that highlights it more so than maybe previous years where you had 4 teams that were clearly better than everyone else. This year, I think you're seeing a lot of parity in the top 10, at least the top 6 and 8. I think you're seeing a lot of equal quality,
I think you could have an undefeated Wisconsin team be lucky to get in. Undefeated.
If they win out and win in Big Ten?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be shocking if they... I can't see that happening, dude. A undefeated Big Ten champ, I don't care what the team is, I don't care if it's the shittiest team in the conference, undefeated Big Ten champion has to get in. There's no 2 ways about it.
Who are you going to jump? So you played nobody all year. You played.
I would jump Oklahoma. I would jump Notre Dame. I would jump TCU. Well, those Oklahoma and TCU, one of those is going to drop.
They're not going to jump Wisconsin. If they were to go undefeated, assuming those teams went out, if they got in, they'd get in at 4th.
Dude, you got to keep in mind these TV contracts that the ESPN's has. Who else? Fox. You got to keep in mind these contracts, man. They want Big Ten representation. They don't want 4 Southern teams in the fucking Final Four, like Clemson, Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma. They don't want that. That's the worst possible scenario from a TV network point of view and getting eyeballs on the games.
True.
You know, you got to have some Midwest representation. West Coast doesn't matter. There's no meaningful West Coast team that's going to bring eyeballs. And Washington and USC are at 9 and 11, so those bastards don't even have a chance. You got to have some diversification in the regional teams. You can't just have a bunch of Southern teams. I won't watch. I'll tell you that. If the Buckeyes don't make it, and say it's Georgia, Bama, Clemson, and Oklahoma, I'm not watching that. I could give a fuck. I love college football more than anything in the world, but I'm not watching that. For real. I will watch my Maction every night and skip that bullshit.
I don't know, man. But I get what you're saying. I hear you screaming, dog.
So that's where we lie. Hope I got a lot of aggression out tonight. I tried to keep it buttoned up.
F it, dude. Let's go bowling.
Oh, I'd love to. So, if we don't get a CFP spot, which probably not.
We're not. Get that shit out of your brain, man.
Never say die. And we're looking at a New Year's Six bowl that won't mean as much.
Yay.
We'll see how things play out. At least this is where the season starts nationally. And some of these chumps start getting picked off left and right. And we'll see what the standings look like next week. But
right. There's going to have to be some upsets. That's all I'm saying.
And that happens every year.
Certainly does.
So, all right, Buckeye Nation. Hope we made you feel a little better this evening. We're still licking the wounds and getting healthy, but let's try and put a little Sparty in their place and remind them who they are. Let's take out a little pent-up aggression on those green-wearing freaks. But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Henry, for hitting us up. Appreciate you. And as usual, hit us up on the website, thebuckeyecast.com, and all the social media at the Buckeyecast. And don't forget about TBC Extra Points. Those are usually fun to do. This past week, not so much. I sounded like I had a gun in my mouth. Sorry about that. Anyway, talk to you later, Henry.
Yep.
See ya.
It's fun time.